Hello everyone. If you're looking for meta builds that are mathematically the best possible, there is a linked video in the pinned comment from Saj. I'd like to show some own creations of mine based on my best Gogma rolls I had so far, my best talismans and also element Phial builds for every element, which can all get beyond 1000 element damage. There are only a few element matchups in the game, so power Phial and raw focus builds are meta right now, but element Phial builds are more comfortable, flexible and honestly not too far behind of power Phials, especially for the average player. Let's begin with a few raw builds. Everything aside from the legs is a good base if you have a Gogma weapon with Lord's Soul. Scorcher gives you some bonus damage, we can get Weakness Exploit and Agitator maxed out, but have to use an appropriate charm to complete Max Might and Counter Strike. The legs can then be used to trigger whatever set bonus skill you have on your Gogma Switch X, in my case it's Burst Boost. A very similar build to this one helped me get my sub 10 minutes on the AT Jinder Hard event quest. Another interesting build I made is this one right here on my Thunder Power Phial Switch X, where I also got extremely lucky with Dosha Might and Lord's Soul. And I made a set using the 4-piece set bonus from Dosha, and thanks to this and Counter Strike, offsetting an attack can trigger both, giving you 50 raw damage. Doshaguma's Might is active for 3 minutes, while Counter Strike is only active for 45 seconds, but you counter way more than you offset, so keeping both active shouldn't be much of an issue. And this build certainly delivers. Before we come to my favorite element Phial sets, I'm gonna show you a few more builds where I didn't get any god rolls on my weapons yet, so take these with a grain of salt. Maybe they can give you some ideas, but they aren't my most powerful builds. If you'd like to get even more ideas for builds or share your own, the link to my Discord is in the pinned comment, where many of my members also share their builds. Alright, now onto my favorite builds. I have one for each element, starting off with fire. Again, these aren't meta and can certainly be improved upon, but I just really want to be able to get above 1k element damage on element Phial switch axes. To achieve this, you of course want as many element enhancements as possible on your Gogma weapons. Ideal would be 2 times EX element boost, 2 times level 2 element boost and 1 sharpness EX. Then you want the element damage upskill for the respective element, the Gogma set bonus, burst also can boost element damage a pretty good amount, while also increasing raw damage. And then I have to rely on something like element absorption or coalescence. Depending on the monster you're fighting, the uptimes can be pretty decent though. The dragon element build is a bit low on affinity, which I should improve upon, but as I said, I'm happy that I finally got a build for every element with over 1k each. Now onto improving those and rolling some better GOG bonuses. I hope you found something interesting and let me know if you have any questions or way better builds for even higher element damage. As for the best Gogma rolls, the absolute best is Lord's Soul with Gormagala's Tyranny. But you can definitely make some great builds with Doshaguma's Might, Gogma Apocalypse, Leviathan's Fury, Rathalos Flare, and some more niche builds with other skills, but for the group bonus, nothing compares to Lord's Soul right now. For raw weapons, you would want the attack focus and 1-time sharpness EX. 3 or 4 attack boost, 2 of these can be EX and maybe 1 affinity EX to counter the negative affinity from the attack focus. For element, the ideal would be 1-time sharpness EX and 4 times element boost. 2 can be EX again, but if you have attack in there it is fine too, but affinity might be a bit wasted on element Phial switch axes. I hope you're having fun with the endgame loop, a huge shout out to my supporters, and I hope to see you all on future videos and streams. Happy hunting everyone!